Hello, this is Karen Moen. Welcome everybody to our Dynamics Partner Monthly Community Call for March. We welcome all of you, and we've got a couple special guests today. Rupa and Tatiana are from the product group and have graciously agreed to join us to do two things. One, Rupa is going to talk about project service automation, and Tatiana is going to talk about field service. So these will be fairly high level, not real deep dive, but we wanted to give everybody a good understanding of these two apps that are part of Dynamics 365. Our team will be working in the background to answer questions. If we do not get to your question, if we don't get that answered, we will answer those on follow-up within our Yammer group. So please be patient with that. And without further ado, I'm going to pass it over to Rupa to get us started today. Rupa, you have the floor.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. And thank you, Karen, for giving me this opportunity to present project service to our partner community. So what I'll be doing today is in about 30 minutes, try to give you like a whirlwind overview of project service automation. But before we go into some product screenshots and demos, let me just quickly give you in the 30 minutes, I'll show you some of the value proposition and differentiation that project service automation brings to the table vis-a-vis other products in the market, and then we'll deep dive into the demo and talk a little bit about extensibility. So this is the ecosystem in which project service lives. So it is a solution on Dynamics CRM, and it coexists with sales, service, marketing, and the typical, the usual CRM solutions. And it also works in unison with field service. And we now have integration into Dynamics Operations, which is our ERP or financial suite of products. So this is the overall ecosystem, and what we are unique, we are purpose-built, productive, intelligent, and adaptable project service solution for the professional service industry. And the solution covers all the way from opportunity management to customer billing. And we also have service analytics. So we are what you may call as an end-to-end project service automation solution. And we cover most of the typical key hero personas in a project management. It starts from the salesperson that is quoting for a project-based work and goes on to support project managers, resource managers, and the actual team members that work on projects, and how projects get the billing administrator or the back office financial people that actually bill and approve costs and revenue on projects. So that's a little bit about the overview. And where we add value is we are purpose-built for the professional services industry. And being an offering from Microsoft, we also bring to the table unique integrations to the Microsoft suite of products that we all know and we are well aware of and we use every day in our lives, like Office Groups, Word, Excel integration, Microsoft Project for project managers on the call. So we integrate with the typical and well-used, well-loved productivity suite products of Microsoft. So that is the value that we bring to the table. And aside from the fact that we are really an end-to-end project management solution, all the way from quoting and contracting to billing. So we just don't do project management or task management or scheduling, but we do the whole gamut. Some of the common customer pains we address being an end-to-end solution is that we have our pricing and quoting system in the same flow as we have our project management systems. So prices are always the latest and greatest. We also have our deal estimation concepts hooked into project management and pricing concepts. We have an excellent, very intuitive resource management system where you can see what each resource is doing at any given point in time on a nice, intuitive graphical interface. And not only that, very graphically staff people, the right people with the right skill set on projects. We also plan and track 2 contractual commitments. So because we have visibility, we are an end-to-end solution. We make contractual commitments visible for all downstream project management screens. So you will be able to track against contractual commitments. We have a very simple and easy to use interface for timesheets approvals. We also support have our timesheet and approval processes on Mocha, which is the CRM platform for mobile applications. And we also have a pro forma invoice that shows you all the time that was logged so that you can, as a project manager or as billing persona, you can approve those to be sent to a backend financial system for actual invoicing. Some of the core value propositions, to iterate one more time, is we are built on the extensible XRM platform. So we are extending the lead opportunity or sales order entities, quote entities where we can, and we are building custom entities where there are no pre-existing CRM entities. We are tailored for professional services, so we talk the professional services language. We support time and material, fixed price, chargeability, non-chargeable, rate cards for different currencies, on-site, offshore, resource models, where you're sharing resources across different divisions with the company, in the company, and how you can price those resources that you have borrowed from another division of your company. We have project WBS and requirement templates that you can use by way of perpetuating best practices across. And because, again, we're an end-to-end system, time, expenses, approvals are all tied back and flow back to your contract and show you the progress by way of effort, billing on the contract, so that it is one 360-degree view of your projects. So that was a little bit of an intro, and I'll jump into the demo now. This is our landing page. This is the practice management dashboard, where we show some key metrics across your organization for project management, cost comparison, margin comparison by month, sales comparison by month, active role utilization. So these are all key performance indices that a professional services firm would like. And like I mentioned, this is built on the extensible XRM platform, so you should be able to create your own KPIs and sort of pin them to this dashboard. The flow for us starts with leads. So we start from lead, and on a lead, we have this little flag that says what type of a lead it is. So you will be able to go in and say whether this is an item-based lead or a work-based lead. If it's an item-based lead, it typically creates a CRM opportunity, which is the traditional opportunity that has lines which call out products coming from your catalog. If you flag a lead as a work-based lead, once the lead is qualified, it creates a project-based opportunity. And in a project-based opportunity, what you have is you will see the CRM functionality or the ability to add products to an opportunity, but you will also see that you can estimate for projects. And let me walk you through the structure of the opportunity. So this is an opportunity that I have already created in the interest of time. And as you can see, there are a few fields that we have added on the opportunity to enable certain features for specifically for professional service industries. Firstly, there's the account manager field, and based on the account manager, we also default something called as a contracting unit. This represents the division of the company that owns this opportunity, or that's going to be the primary delivering org unit or division for this opportunity. Now, the division, the way we model the division is a little bit different from business unit. Business unit in CRM is a security construct, so we did not pollute it. We created our own custom concept called org unit that we want to use not as a security dimension, but as a pricing dimension. This is a division of the company that has a specific cost associated to its resources. And when it lends its resources to some other division of the company, there needs to be an interdivisional pricing agreement with that division. So what we have done on the opportunity is we allow you to say who's the owner of this, which division is the owner of this opportunity, and that's where the org unit concept comes in. And if you look at the org unit, we have the org units here. It's a flat list at the moment, but if you navigate into an org unit, you will see that the org unit, you can attach a price list to an org unit. And this price list, the way we have changed price list is we have the concept of cost or sales price list. So if I open up a cost price list, US cost rates 2016, it's not just the name that says it's a cost rate, but there is also a context field, which is a custom field we introduced so that you can maintain your cost rates also in the form of a price list with a certain date effectivity.
Excuse me, Rupa, I think we lost your screen. Would you mind sharing that again?
Oh, okay. Do you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see it now. Are you seeing it, Renato?
Yeah, it's okay now.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Okay.
So we also introduced, so I'm not sure when my screen went blank, but I'll just show you the org unit setup here. So these are the org units I have in the system, and when you navigate to an org unit, you can see a cost list attached to it, and this is a price list. This is a traditional CRM price list, which we have customized to add a context field so that the price list knows whether it is expressing cost rates or sales rates. By sales rates, I mean bill rates. So once you have your cost rate, you can attach that cost price list to a certain org unit. And when you go to the context of an opportunity, you can see that the costing for the opportunity in terms of how you arrive at a certain cost for your estimates, that is dependent on which org unit owns it and what is the cost price list attached to that org unit. So that's how this whole thing ties up to the pricing sections. And now on the opportunity, you have opportunity lines, and these opportunity lines, like I mentioned, they can be of two types. They can be project-based lines or our traditional CRM product-based lines that come from a catalog. So here I have product-based lines. In this scenario, there is a CRM implementation at one of our customers, Underglaze, who is a British customer. That's why you see the amounts in British pounds. I created this just to drive home the point that we do support multi-currencies as with project service automation solution. The org unit has a currency, which is US dollar. In this case, Contoso US is the org unit or the division of the company that owns this opportunity and the delivery of this opportunity. So costs will get accounted for in US dollars, but all revenues, because the customer is a British customer, all revenue side of the transactions will get accounted for in British pounds. So there are two project-based lines here, and there are a couple of product lines here. So what we are doing is we're doing some requirements and POC, which is a fixed price phase of the project. And then we are doing a full implementation, which is a time and material based, and each one has a certain customer budget. And in the process, we're also selling some CRM licenses. So all of this together is the value of this opportunity. So the estimated revenue is calculated across product and project-based lines once you have the project service automation. Now, if you go to the quote, like typical CRM, an opportunity can have multiple quotes. And here I have two different quotes where I've tried different resourcing models. This one, I'm just using my onshore resources. Over here, I have part offshore and part US resources. So if you go to the quote for this offshore US resources, because I created this quote from an opportunity, as in CRM, the lines are transferred. And when I open up one of these lines here, the POC line, this is a project-based line, and you can see here some of the estimations that I've done where I've gotten a few high-level tasks to be done out of our division in India and a couple of tasks to be done in the US, and the pricing reflects appropriately based on my price list. So the price list on the quote has a more user-friendly view that we built, and it shows me for Contoso US, when I pick a functional consultant, they will come in at a day rate. The unit here is a day at 900 pounds per day. So we do support that concept where in certain geographies, if you have to sell in day units, we allow you to express those estimates in days as opposed to hours. So that's what you see over here. But if I then change to Contoso, what are my prices when I use somebody from Contoso India, then it tells me that, hey, if you use a resource from Contoso India, they will come at a different day rate than your Contoso US resources or your Contoso UK resources. So that's a little bit about how pricing and units of estimation work. Let me close the pricing function here, and I'm using a functional consultant in my estimation against this particular phase of the project. I'm using two functional consultant from US, and for some other tasks I'm using a functional consultant from India, and I'm estimating my quantity, required quantity in days, and I'm getting my sales price defaulted accordingly. Now if I navigate to the fixed price line, so if I navigate to we just looked at the fixed price one, and if I navigate to the time and material line, it's pretty much the same thing where I have some estimation done, and I have a project mapping both for the fixed price line and for the time and material line. I have a project mapped to the quote line, and I could either pull the estimation that I've done on the project, or I could do an estimation directly on the quote and have it be transferred to the project. So that is a little bit about how we have structured quote. And based on your estimation that you did on the quote, we show some interesting analytics on the quote page. So let me navigate to the quote page here and say, so here we show some gross margin based on your estimation and how you stack up against customer expectations. Based on the requested delivery date you have and your project plan, it will tell you whether you're estimated to finish early and if you're coming within customer budget and what's your gross margin going to be. And there are a few tabs here that you can navigate to and look at some of the time-phased revenue and cost spread, and you can see the associated revenue by role. Total chargeable costs, what are the non-chargeable costs. Here I don't have any non-chargeable costs, but if you did, it would show what's the total revenue, what's the gross margin, and is this going to be profitable, and how does it compare to customer expectations for revenue and schedules. So is the expected completion and what is the requested completion? We are estimated to finish a few days early, which is always good. And you have the quoted budget and what the customer budget is. We're coming under. And so that's good. So these are some of the metrics that we show on the quote. And once you win a quote, you can win a quote as one, and that creates an order. So that's a little bit about the estimation process. And if I have another window here where I have a take it out of slideshow so that I can see. So I have another window here where I've got an already won quote. This is another Dynamics 365 implementation. This quote has already been won. So now I have an order. And on the order, if you see, we show some interesting metrics on how the order is performing. And this goes to prove some of the initial value propositions I was talking about, where we are an end-to-end solution. So this is the contract performance, which shows you the effort spent and billing progress. And we show you the gross profit analysis for each line or phase of your contract, how much, what's the estimated quantity, what's the build, and how much you have incurred to date as cost. This is on this particular contract, I have 2 components and 1 product-based line, which came from my catalog. So this is, and on the project, if you see, this is our project that ties back to one of those lines in the contract. And on the project, we have the access to which contract it ties to in the sales tab so that you can get the sales related information. This is our team or team members on the project. And I have the team members out here. And I also have the project WBS. So if I navigate to the project and open up the project WBS, this is a detailed work breakdown structure of the project. It is your typical, it's very similar to how Microsoft Project works. And on every project, we also have a way to open this in Microsoft Project, edit it, and push those updates back to a CRM. And that is one of the key value propositions we offer by virtue of being in the Microsoft family, that we have these integrations to the known and well-liked Microsoft productivity toolset. So this project plan, I created it in Microsoft Project, and I pushed this update to Project Service Automation Solutions. And I have this nicely laid out project plan. Based on the project plan, I can generate a project team. When I generate a project team using the click of a button, what it does is, because I said I need these type of people, these roles on these tasks between these dates, the system goes in and intelligently computes what is the minimum number of resources I need to be able to complete these tasks without having to having any overages on my end date. And that is how I generated this project team over here. And once I generate a project team, I could go into my booking experiences and start booking my resources. Now, when I say I need some resources, notice that the filters are automatically set from how I expressed my requirements on my tasks in the WBS. So in the WBS, I said I needed a resource from Contoso, India, and they need to be an architect. And the system is automatically setting these filters and opening my resources page. And in here, I don't have any architects from Contoso, India. So I have, as somebody that's working the system, I have the freedom to go in and relax some of these constraints. Okay, as long as they're from India, I'm fine. I don't necessarily need them to be an architect. I'll make that that staffing decision. So I could relax and reapply my search, and it shows me whoever is available. And I can sort the search based on availability. I can sort it based on name, where you can see that rearranging. And that's some of the, so now if I think, oh, Eva is available, so why not I go ahead and book. She's from India. She can staff this role. And here it asks me, do you want to staff them? Now, Eva's role is a developer, but I'm staffing her on an architect role. So I may want to staff her as her role, which is developer, but then that affects my downstream pricing and costing for Eva. So I'm going to stick to the requirement role. So so I have that option there to book her on a requirement role or a. So once Eva is booked on the project, then Eva can go in and log time on this project. So let's wait for the booking to finish. And now, if you look at my team, the generic resource has been replaced with Eva. And Eva has been booked and assigned to the project. And the same thing can be viewed on the schedule board UI, which is optimized, and it caters to resource managers or personas that want to look all up at a resources, all up at all of the resources that they have in their system. So here I can see what each person is doing, what are they engaged. So I see that Bernadette is booked all the way from 3:15 through 3:24, and I can see what is she doing. She has some bookings. She has some project-based bookings. And I can see her skills profile. I can look at Bob Kozak and what he is booked at, and I can see the project that he is booked at. He's booked for 40 hours. And whenever somebody, like if I can also, in this view, I can also see other requirements that people have. And I could say on this one, on this project, different functional consultant, I can go ahead and book, drag and drop that on Bernadette's calendar. And then she's booked from the start date and end date. So let's say I want to book her from 3:20 to 3:24, and I can book her for, say, 10 hours every day, front load, and I book. So this is a project team member requirement, so I'm unable to book this requirement. But if I go in and just take one of these projects or I can select days of Bernadette, and I can pick a project, this ABC Help Desk, and I can say, okay, book her for 2 hours on this project for those selected 2 dates, and I hit book. At that point, Bernadette is booked, and she shows up as having 9 hours booking against that those 2 days. So I can see what each person is doing, and from right here, I can edit her booking, where I booked her for 1 hour each day. I can change this to say 5 hours each day. And I hit update. At that point, Bernadette is booked for, let me edit it one more time to make sure that edit happens on both the days. Update. So I now have Bernadette booked for 13 hours, and the reason why it turns red is because now Bernadette is over allocated on those 2 days. She has some 8 hours going for Contoso Sales Management Project. She also has 5 hours, and then that's an indication for the resource manager for them to say, oh, I need to, sort of level. We don't have any automatic leveling, but you can always manually take this booking and drag it to somebody else. Now here I'm moving Bernadette's booking onto Bob Kozak's calendar. Now Bernadette looks free, but Bob Kozak is now looking overbooked. So these are some of the resource management features that we have. And we also have time and expense and invoicing. So on this particular project, I have, let me navigate back to the project and show you some of the time entry concepts that we have got here. So this is our time entry UI. And if I move to some of the previous units, you can see that I have logged some time against Dynamics 365 implementation project. And these then go through our approvals experience, where it shows some any time entries or expense entries that you may have had, and it allows the project manager to select them and approve those time entries. Once the time entries are approved, they show up on the project and the contract as being, so if we go to the Dynamics 365 implementation project that we have got, they will show up on the project as project actual costs and unbilled sales. And once you're able to create an invoice and bill it out, the unbilled sales gets reversed and we create a billed sales transaction against this. And that all of that is reflected on the contract as 28 hours and the billing progress. And if you look at the invoices, all of the invoices are shown, whatever I've created on this order, they all show up here. And if you look at the structure of the invoice, it exactly mirrors the contract structure with all the lines showing up here, and they show how much you have on each invoice by way of billings. So if I open up the time and materials invoice, it shows you all of the chargeable transactions that you have invoiced the customer. And if I open up the fixed price line, it'll show you the milestone that you have invoiced the customer on this particular invoice. And on this invoice, I did not invoice any time and material transaction. That's why you see an amount of 0. But if I go to the other invoice, you'll be able to see some of the time and material transactions. We go to invoices and open up. This one was the one that had zeros for the time and materials. So let me open up the other invoice. And this one shows our milestone transaction. And this one shows time transactions that we have invoiced, and each of these time and material invoice lines will show how many transactions are chargeable, how many complimentary, and how many non-chargeable on each invoice, so that you can review them, or you can even make changes, or you can create directly a new invoice transactions in case the time entries haven't come through on time. The billing administrator has the ability to go ahead and create a direct invoice line so that it can be billed out. So that's like some of the end-to-end overview. And to talk a little bit about extensibility, we do have, like I mentioned, we are built on the extensible XRM platform. The sales module and pricing is entirely built on CRM. Entities, we support pipeline chart, sales funnels, our pre-sales and sales extend CRM sales entities. Project team, resource requirement, project actuals are all extensible. We XRM security, workflow, the Mocha platform, business rules, all of the good extensible and customizability that you have from the XRM platform accrues to us as well, because we're built natively. There are some experiences that are non-native where we use some custom controls like the time entry UI and the resource scheduling UI, but we are doing a lot by way of increasing their configurability in the future. So that's a little bit of project service. I hope it was useful. Please feel free to send me any questions or clarifications that you want along the way, and I'd be happy to answer. Over to you, Karen.
Yep, thank you very much, Rupa. That was a great overview. So we'll transition over to Tatiana. We don't have any open questions right now, but again, feel free as the call wraps up to ask them and on our Yammer group, and we'll engage with Rupa and Tatiana as follow-up. So Tatiana, looks good. I can see your screen, so go right ahead.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Tatiana Sage, and I'm Program Manager on Field and Project Service Engineering team. And today I'll share with you a little bit about field service. We don't have that much time, but I'll do my best. Can you guys hear me well? I apologize for my sick voice, but I'll do my best to talk as loud as I can.
You sound just fine. So
okay,
thank you,
sounds good.
All right.
So before we start, let's talk a little bit what field service is. So what is it? Field service is when someone, traditionally a field technician, completes work at home or a business. There are few main types of appointments a technician can complete. Can be installation. For example, someone installing a refrigerator, or can be maintenance, regular appointment, something like changing air filters or performing inspections. And it can be a break fix, sometimes called a repair, when a customer experiences a problem and technician is dispatched to go and fix it using specific tools. We also see sometimes very interesting examples of non-traditional field service scenarios, like scheduling home health nurses, or sometimes even fitness centers trying to schedule a personal trainers. But regardless of the type of field service appointment, organizations constantly strive to improve customer satisfaction and improve resource productivity. A field service management tool tries to help to ensure that balance can be found between those two. But simultaneously improving both customer satisfaction and resource productivity is a huge challenge. In the past, if you spend a lot of time with a customer to make them happy, your productivity will decrease, right? Or vice versa. If you try to fit few more appointments in each day, you may compromise on quality of work and customer interaction. So today, however, Today, however, with field service automation, we can help field service organizations to improve both. I'm trying to go through my slides as fast as I can to save some time. So let's take a look at the field service traditional workflow. So field service organization will receive a job, and it can be in form of order, phone call, can be social media, or IoT device. We need to schedule and dispatch the job. Can be manual, can be assisted, automated, or optimized. We need to be in contact with our customers. It can be via voice, text, SMS, can be through portal, or through integration with Glimpse. I'm going to talk about integration with Glimpse in a little bit. Technician needs to perform this service. In order to do that, technician needs to have specific instructions, needs to have correct parts, and of course needed to have an opportunity to for upsell. Technician needs to collect payment, and it can be on site, it can be invoice, and of course we need to complete the work order by manager approval. So let's take a few moments and let's talk a little bit what's new in the latest field service release automation. This was a significant release for field service, both in terms of new capabilities and enhancements. We improved existing capabilities, while also trying to prepare field service automation for digital transformation. I'm very excited, actually. You cannot hear it in my voice because I'm sick, but I am very excited to share with you guys today some of the highlights of that release. And I'm going in a little bit, if we still have time, I'm going to do a little bit demo, short demo of some of the highlights of just past release. Today, I'm going to talk a little bit about connected field service, resource scheduler optimization, schedule anything. That is one of the cool features that we released, that now we can schedule any entity. Of course, extremely important customer communication and mobile enhancements that we released. So let's start with, of course, connected field service. Connected field service allows a field service organization to detect, troubleshoot, and resolve issues remotely, so a technician is dispatched only when necessary. It is extremely important for modern field service organizations. So in traditional field service organization, the customer has a problem, calls to get it fixed, and a technician is dispatched with a customer history and record of the concerned call only, right? With connected field service, we can eliminate the customer concerns and try to complete self-healing repair remotely before sending a technician. It will save a lot of time, and we can organize our technicians much better. So because connected field service connects devices in the field, it utilizes the power of the Azure IoT suite. So an organization can know about problem or potential problem before it even happened. So for example, we have a boiler that is overheating. We can receive data about the temperature increase for that boiler, and we can fix the issue without even sending a technician or before that problem becomes a real problem, right? Benefits of remote monitoring and self-healing or using IoT devices, integration with IoT. We can decrease number of repair appointments by sending fewer technicians on site. We can definitely identify and fix problem before customers are aware, which is a big win. With sensors sending alerts, because we can receive a lot of live data, millions and millions of records, we can understand it better, and we can predict better of what is going to happen. And of course, perform just-in-time preventative maintenance. Resource scheduling optimization. Let's talk about this nice feature. Resource scheduling optimization allows companies to automatically schedule work to the most appropriate resources while optimizing to fit in the most appointments per day. So what are the benefits of optimization? Many field service organizations really wanted to decrease, excuse me, really want to decrease driving distance between appointments so they can fit more appointments per day, as well as provide the tightest appointment window for customers. I had a personal experience that I had to wait. I had a 4 hours appointment for my refrigerator to be fixed. Who'd like that? So trying to create a schedule that achieves those goals is, it's a huge win for our customers, for our field service organizations. So consider how frequently appointments get rescheduled or new work needs to be scheduled. Any small change would mean a lot of work for dispatcher to make changes, to reorganize all those appointments, work orders, or schedules. So optimizations will help automatically do all those tasks. Schedule anything. That was a very exciting new feature that we released. So now we can enable for scheduling not just work order, but any entities existing in CRM. It's a very simple process that your administration of organization can go through, and that entity, for example, lead, opportunity, can also be viewed from the schedule board. Customer communication. With new customer communication features, organizations now can send outbound text and automated phone calls using integration with Twilio. We also can share with our customers ETA of our technician arrivals live on the map through integration with Glimpse services. And we can text, we can share those live maps through text or email or through the portal. So what are the benefits of customer communication? I think it's huge. Everybody wants to know what is going on, where is my appointment. Better communication with a customer allows for customers not to miss the appointment, because if I know that in 2 months I have an appointment, my technician is coming to fix my refrigerator, I might just forget. And I don't need to wait 4 hours for that to happen. You can tell that I'm really hurt by that experience. Mobile. A couple of new things we released for mobile. So we do have 2 apps available today for field service mobile. One of them is based on the Wrapup platform. So for Wrapup, we enabled field service for Wrapup on new version 9.1. We also just released field service for Mocha. All right, so let's take a look at a short demo that I prepared for you guys. Just bear with me. So I wanted to share with you our schedule board. Rupa just mentioned that a little bit, but I wanted to show you what we have on our new schedule board. I'm not sure how much everybody knows about schedule board, but let's take a look. We did improve a lot in UI, so new schedule board looks much more modern. The colors are a little bit different. We incorporated pictures of the resources. So if you can take a look on the left, all of my resources on the left, you can see the picture. You can see the name of the resource. I can see right here all the skills that this resource has and proficiency of those skills for this resource. If I'm a dispatcher, I can easily communicate to this resource using Skype for Business or through messaging, or I can easily email as well. Those pictures, I'm going to open the resource real quick so you can take a look. Sorry. Those pictures for resources are coming from the entities that it's associated with. In this case, it's a contact. If I click on a contact, it happens again. This picture is enabled here, and it's easily modifiable. I can see also the percentage of booking, so I can see for all of my resources how much they booked. Let's take a look at the actual schedule board. You can see we have some interesting time in front of every single booking. What that means is it represents this travel time. It can be removed, or you can keep it here. It helps dispatcher easily and much faster to understand how long it will take to each appointment for a specific resource to get, so I can tightly schedule different bookings. If I click on settings, I can change, I can hide show travel durations. It will disappear. I personally like it. So if you can see, there is a color bar next to every single booking. It represents the entity color. You can also turn it on or off, but you can easily change it as well. And to change it, you just need to navigate to customizations. Let's say that I'm looking at the work order. The color can be changed right here. And of course, if you enable schedule for multiple entities, what's going to happen, you might see different colors. It will help dispatcher to identify booking for what record that is. You see there are different colors for bookings. They represent status of the booking. And it's also easily modifiable. Each field service organization can set up their own booking status colors that they're familiar with. This is just out of the box. We introduced in this release also paging. So now the maximum amount of resources per page is 100, but you can go through different pages. That will help to increase performance for the schedule board. And of course, if you have multiple, 200 resources, it's just easier to do it that way. Okay. Let's take a look at the filters. So we can filter the schedule board based on multiple criteria. We can filter based on characteristics, specific skill set of the resources, territories, organization units, resources types, and so much more. I can also change my own filters. I can create my custom filters. I can save my current filters as default, or I can select resources that I wanted to be on that board manually. And I'm just simply gonna choose all, specific resources and apply. It will show only the resources that I choose for this specific board. We also introduced different views for schedule board. You can see only our view at this moment. Rupa showed you a little bit about, I believe, week or month view. So in this release, for this schedule board, for field service schedule board, we can see all different views. And you can see in days, weeks, and months in addition to hours. We also did improve a lot about map views. I'm going to click on the map view to show you, excuse me, to show you how it looks like. So what's new about maps? We did update map control UI to improve user experience, and we're using a new bean map control for this release. We added more filters for the map. We include different views for the roads. You can see the standard road view. This is what right now it's right here. You can see. I can also see the aerial view. I also can see the street view, which is kind of cool. Let's go back to roads. There you go. We introduced different scales for the map. So one of the new things was grayscale, or it can be just regular map scale. We added routes to the resources. It actually helps a lot for dispatcher that you can reroute and you can see what appointments or bookings on the specific resource route. So you can adjust the route to change so the specific resource easily and faster can go to all his or her appointments. So, and it's very easy to change. You just drag and drop, and it will add to another booking. Another very interesting functionality that we have for mapping is mapping extensibility. Out of the box, we use integration with Bing, but different field service organizations can use their own map providers for this feature. Also, we can view we introduce different filters for the map. You can see, you can hide resources. You can hide organization units. You can hide bookings, so you can see only unscheduled requirements. You can hide requirements and unhide bookings. And you can always display paints. Sounds good. I'm right at time. That's all I had.
Okay, fantastic, Tatiana. Thank you. That was a great overview of field service. So we don't have any open questions at the moment. So well, let's see. Actually, we've got one. Let's see if we can answer this one. It says, can we discuss any functionality related to web form scheduling, which implies a web user would self-identify, perhaps add some qualifiers and schedule a resource online? Is there any functionality for that, for scheduling via web forms, Tatiana?
I do not think so, but please email to me and we can discuss further.
Okay, sounds good. We'll send that over to you, and
yeah, absolutely.
Great. Thank you so much. So for everybody, we'll answer that question on Yammer, and again, we'll get. I think, can we share these slide decks, Rupa and Tatiana, with our community? We'll get those slide decks posted to Yammer, and the recording will be on our YouTube channel, and you can always come back to the link for the event to watch the recording of the event as well. So I want to thank everybody for joining today, and we look forward to our call with you next month. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.